Hey there, welcome back. So in this video we are going to do some environment setup, since from the next section onwards we'll have a lot of hands-on sessions and so on PyTorch tensors and everything. So it's better that you have everything set up so that you can follow along, right? So now the first thing is PyTorch is a Python library, right? So if you are willing to work with PyTorch, you must have Python installed in your system. Now Python can be installed from multiple different sources. You can either download Python from the official website, or you can download any of the different distributions which are available. Now my personal favorite is the Anaconda distribution, since in Python I mostly work with data science stuff. So Anaconda distribution not only gives you Python, but it also provides you some additional packages which are really useful. Packages like scikit-learn and NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, all of these are there in case of Anaconda distribution of Python. So I will choose that, and that's what I'm going to use in this course. So here I'm in anaconda.com/product/individual, and if I just scroll down, then at the bottom you have here the different Anaconda installers. Now based on your system, like whatever you are running on, you can just download the respective installer. Now in my case it's 64-bit graphical installer for Windows, so I'll just do that, and then you can follow the simple steps in the wizard just to install the Anaconda distribution, and that will be pretty much it for the installation of Anaconda. Now once you have Anaconda installed, then what you do is you just open the Anaconda navigator right over here, and once Anaconda navigator opens, this is what you are going to see. So you'll have the base root environment selected over here, and you'll also have all the applications which come with Anaconda displayed. So we are not gonna work on the root environment, which just is the default environment. Rather what we'll do is we'll create a separate environment and keep all the libraries and everything that we use in this course in that environment, so it's easy to maintain. So here under environments, I'll just click on create, and you can just give any name to the environment, for example PyTorch videos, and you click on create. So here you can see that it's started creating the environment. Now there are multiple steps involved. It will just put some additional libraries and everything which you need in this environment. So this is going to take some time, about 2 to 3 minutes, so I will just let it finish. Cool, so we have our PyTorch videos environment set up. Now the next thing what we are going to do is we'll click on this small green play button, and then we'll click on open terminal. So this will open a terminal for this environment PyTorch videos, right? Now we'll just minimize it and let's go back to Google Chrome again. So now we have Python installed, and all the Anaconda packages that we are going to need are all installed in that specific environment. Now the next thing is installing PyTorch, because that's what we are going to use, right? So I'm again in pytorch.org, and once you go there, just click on get started and you'll be in this page. Now if you just scroll down, and here you can see that this nice little UI is there for you to get the final command to install PyTorch. Now here you just have to select the different configurations that you are using as of right now. Now PyTorch comes with two different builds. Now one is your stable build, and the other one is your preview builds for the future ones and so on. Now we should always be working with this stable build if you are not someone who's just trying to explore new stuff, right? So you have the stable build selected over here, then you select your OS, right? I'm again using Windows, so I've selected Windows. Now then you have to select your package manager. So if you're working with Anaconda distribution, you can directly select Conda, and if not, then maybe you can select pip, right? So I have Conda selected over here. Then the language, I'm going to work with Python, so it will be Python, and then CUDA. So as I said, that Python, like PyTorch, works on GPU as well. So it works on both CPU and GPU. It's device aware, right? So the GPU where PyTorch works, that GPU must be first of all an NVIDIA GPU, and it also should be a CUDA enabled GPU. Now what is CUDA enabled GPU and so on, these are things that I'm going to cover in the next section. But for now, just know that if you have an NVIDIA GPU which has at least 6 gigs of RAM, then that should be CUDA enabled, right? Because my system also has a 1660 Ti, so that is CUDA enabled. So if you have such a system, I would suggest you install the graphical version of PyTorch or GPU version of PyTorch, right? By selecting here CUDA and your CUDA version and so on. And if not, you can just click on none, so it will install the CPU version of PyTorch. So for this tutorial, I'm going to use the CPU version, so I've clicked on none, and I'll just copy this entire thing, and then I'll open my Anaconda prompt, which is already there, and I'll paste it over here and press enter. So Now it will just get all these libraries like PyTorch, Torch Vision and all these things. So again, I'll let it finish. Okay, so my PyTorch is installed. So now let's fire up a Jupyter notebook and see how it works. So I'll again go back to Anaconda Navigator. I'll go to home. Now here you can see that already the PyTorch videos environment is selected. Now here, okay, I don't even have Jupyter installed over here. So I need to first install that. So here is Jupyter. I'll just click on install. Now there are multiple different IDEs that come with Anaconda, and it's totally up to you, where you want to work. Now my personal favorite is Jupyter, but there are also some other IDEs like Spider. It's actually a great IDE for machine learning. I've tried it in my previous courses, and if you want, you can even try Jupyter Lab, which is like newer compared to Jupyter Notebook. But still, let's just for this course, let's just go with the plain old Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so we have our Jupyter notebook installed. So now I'll just click on launch. And here we pretty much have all the Jupyter notebook and everything set up. So let's do one thing. Let's click on new and Python 3. I mean, we shouldn't create a Jupyter notebook in the root folder, but let's just do that. So here we are just testing PyTorch. So what I will do is I'll just import torch, and then I'll just print the version of this torch library. So you can see that the version of torch is 1.7.0, and that's what we have installed, because here the stable release is also 1.7.0. Now coming to another thing here. So now we have PyTorch installed for CPU. Now as I said, if you have a CUDA enabled GPU, then you can even install the CUDA version of PyTorch, right? So in that case, there are some additional steps which you have to follow. So the first thing is you need to have the CUDA toolkit installed in your system. So you just scroll down to the bottom of this page, and then here you can see that install CUDA if your machine has a CUDA enabled GPU. So you can just open it, and it will just open a page in developer.nvidia, and then you can select your operating system and finally download the CUDA toolkit. So here you can see the version of the CUDA toolkit is 11.1, right? So you can just download this CUDA toolkit, install it by following similar wizard, and once you are done with that, then what you do is go over here, select your CUDA version, copy this and paste it, and you'll have a GPU version of PyTorch ready for you to use. So yeah, that now in code, how do we use CUDA and all these things, that will be covered in the next section. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this entire section, and I will see you in the next section where we will finally get started having some hands-on and everything with PyTorch and all that. So that's it, and I will see you in the next one.